59%. Do you know what this number represents? Out of 1,000 people surveyed in the United Kingdom, census-wide, this amount of people claim to regularly compare themselves to others online. 59%. That's a lot of people. If this data is telling us the truth, then theoretically speaking, if any of us go to the United Kingdom, then 2 out of the 3 people that we meet are part of those who regularly compare themselves to other people. Ladies and gentlemen, the digital era that we all live in today, with mediums of communication, social media, and technology, it's worsened the effect of comparison. The act of looking at the similarities and differences between one another and looking for that one thing that you have that others don't. And typically, this effect of comparison is worse in areas where social media usage is high, like in Indonesia. And let me prove it to you by asking you a question. How often do you compare yourselves to other people in terms of how successful you are, rich you are, or something as simple as how happy you are? Raise your hands if any of you have Instagram. Now, keep your hands raised if you use it every day. Now, I want you to be honest with me. Keep your hands raised if you've ever compared yourself to others on Instagram. Look around you. Comparison is a natural trait that exists within all of us. You can put your hands down now, thank you. Comparison is a natural trait that exists within all of us because we're social creatures and we tend to look for fulfillment and joy by finding a sense of domination over other people. And I'd like to share my personal experience that I had with comparison. Over 1.5 years ago, I started my journey in the World Scholars Cup, an academic competition where scholars engage in debates, writing, and studying a variety of subjects. And there are 3 stages, or you can say 3 rounds to the World Scholars Cup. First, you have the regional or local round. And if you qualify, you get to go to the global round, located at around continents in the world. And if you qualify to the final round, you get to go to the Tournament of Champions held in the United States. When I first heard of the Tournament Champions, I started dreaming big. I started seeing myself being able to go to far-fetched places and to compete with people from around the world. So, on May 2023, my team and I participated in the Jakarta regional round. And we qualified to the global rounds, and we went to Bangkok, Thailand. And when it came time for the awarding ceremony, we were in a theater hall. Hour after hour, slide after slide passed by. While other teams were winning medals and trophies, my team were just waiting for that one sign to see whether we had qualified to the Tournament of Champions or not. And when we left that theater hall, we realized that we had failed. This was an incredibly hard time for us. I mean, our parents paid millions and millions for us to go on this trip of a lifetime, and we failed. I fell in a hole deeper than any hole I've fallen in ever before. But it wasn't just because of that failure I experienced. It was because of how I compared myself to other people. I compared myself to all those people I competed against, seeing how other teams won 10 to 15 medals, 2 to 3 trophies, while my team only won 4 medals in total. What really hurt me the most, what really struck me deep in the heart, was when I compared myself to other people on Instagram. When I would open Instagram, I'd see fragments of other people's success, whether that be in academic fields, non-academic fields, or their happiness that they displayed, being able to hang out with their friends and families. I defined all those people based on the successful side that they displayed, while I only defined myself based on that failure I experienced. And I hurt myself because of it. I said words to myself that acted as shovels, getting me deeper and deeper into that hole. I said things, just how other people were way better than me, how I was nothing compared to others, and how I didn't deserve to live in this world. And I was stuck. I didn't know what to do. But deep in that dark hole that I fell in, there was light. My loved ones, my friends, my teachers, and most importantly, my family. I remember a while after the competition, I went to my parents' room, sat with them, and talked to them for 1 whole hour. I was just fully expressing my concern of how I thought that how I failed every single person that I loved and cherished. And I did something similar with my friends and the teachers who coached me. They had continuous belief and acceptance for me that I didn't have at the time. And it proved to me something. It proved to me that the future that I create is dependent on the perseverance that I have in the present. So with that in mind, my team and I joined the Jakarta Regional Rounds once again on May 2024. And we qualified to the Bangkok Global Rounds once again on September 2024. And one more time, we were in that very same theater hall for the awarding ceremony. Hour after hour, slide after slide, this time receiving more medals than we got the year before. And when we went out of that theater hall, 2 months later, we participated in the Tournament of Champions in the United States. This success would have never been possible if I continued to put myself down in the face of others. If I continued to fall into that hole by comparing myself to others. Lesson learned. Earlier this academic year, our principal of education, Mr. Justin Skay, once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." And what he said is true. When I compared myself to all those people, I was searching for a sense of joy and fulfillment. But in the process, I was just putting myself down. I was just getting more greedier for validation that I ended up stealing myself of my own joy. Now, that made me think, how do we actually combat comparison in the midst of the digital era that we all live in today? Ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything I learned from that experience, was that acceptance gave me peace. Within each and every one of us, there are 3 things that we all need to accept to be able to combat comparison. Number 1, we need to accept that we aren't perfect. We aren't perfect. We're not superhuman robots that can do anything and everything at any given time. We all have our own passions, things that matter most to each and every one of us. And If we can develop a growth mindset for the things that matter most to us, then we won't have to worry about measuring ourselves up to other people who clearly have different standards and different capabilities. Number two, we need to accept that we all have our own successes. We all have our own pacing. One person can take a full 2 days to succeed in something, while another person can take a full 2 years. My World Scholars Cup success was not 2023. It was 2024. Although we all have our own moments of success, in the end, we all do it in our own way. So strive for that one moment where you succeed, where you achieve the things that you desire the most in your life. Number three, the most important aspect that we all need to accept. Comparison is unavoidable. It's inevitable. As I said earlier, comparison is a natural trait that exists within all of us. But instead of keeping that mindset where we try to measure ourselves up to other people, we need to instead convert it to a mindset that tells us, if they can succeed, then we can too. It's called the motivation mindset. Convert that action of comparison that tells you to measure up to other people to a mindset that tells you to inspire yourself to be better than who you were before. That is the most important aspect. A famous keynote speaker by the name of Bevan, his videos helped me practice debates for World Scholars Cup. He once said, "Don't be so attached to who you are in the present that you don't give your future version of yourself a chance. Everyone, I want you to look at your very own two hands. Your very own two hands, not others, but yours. Those hands that you hold within yourself to the future are the hands and the tools that will carve your future. Don't be so attached to your current imperfections, your current lack of successes, and the amount of comparison that you uphold within yourself. Instead, think about the actions that you can do starting from today, this moment, to achieve the future that you desire. And for your information, every single one of us, we all have bright futures. We all have amazing futures ahead of us. Remember, comparison is an illusion, but motivation is the truth. Thank you.